Another month has gone by now, and it's time for another Seeing 2020 journal flip through. Finished up now until just one more month, December left. The book's getting very chunky, but it's going to be a treasure, so I'm going to love having it to look back at. And what a year to record. So going on to November, this is the last page of October, and we jump here November 1st on a Sunday, as usual with the scripture verse. I really had a hard time keeping up this month. I have a lot of things going on business-wise and family-wise, and it just kept me really busy. So there's kind of some gaps in here, but that's okay because I got more done than I would have if I hadn't tried it all. So this is November 1st. I used a bit of Tisha Moore papers in here. I still love her work. I find her very inspiring. Added in a little die cut face and added some of my own words into that. I think the prompt for November 1st was alien, so that was my take on that. On Monday, November 2nd, I kind of tended, I think the prompt was disagreement or someone you disagree with, and I love this saying, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to, and I just think that's kind of a good motto to have, and something I try to subscribe to. And of course with the political climate, you know, we've had a lot of that. Mudslinging is what we used to always call it. And then of course November 3rd was election day, and I have these faces here on my red and blue paint blotches that I stamped in here with some hand carved stamps, and I just made him with a blank face and then carved a face in here. The idea is that I could put different faces on there. I haven't carved other faces for him yet, but I could have a variety of expressions and emotions on here. But these I just used a blank form for that. I used it again the next day. I had just carved it that day, so I was trying it out. I used the same face, but this time with the inside part, and turned it into a clown. I believe the prompt was circus on Wednesday, November 4th. So did some journaling there. November 5th was Jellyfish. I really like how this turned out. I had a sticker out of a book of this kind of really fancy Victorian style jellyfish, and I added a face onto it because I thought this kind of looked like a little hat and dress and fluffy sleeves. So I added a face to it and a skirt coming down and lettered Jellyfish, and I really like how that looked, and kind of, I don't know, I think I might have some ideas of to take off of that. Friday, November 6th, the prompt was Down Under. So of course I talked a little bit about Australia, and I kind of focused on some of the artists that I like that are from Australia. I have James Burke, Courtney Diz, Jane Davenport. I'm sure that there's others, but those are the ones that came foremost to mind, and these are the corresponding artwork by those people. On Saturday, November 7th, I think I departed from the prompt a little bit on this one. This is some packaging, I think, from some chocolate on Trader Joe's, but I just said embrace the journey toward your goals, and my husband and I have been spending a lot of time kind of trying to figure out some of our goals, and so that was very much on my mind, so that's what that page is all about. On November 8th, I believe the prompt was bread, and so I give us this day our daily bread, put that on there. November 9th was whale, and I just said a whale of a year, referring to 2020, and I cut some images out of my zine that deals with 2020. This little whale down here was one of the printables that I supplied on my website, and I printed them on sticker paper and used throughout the month. On November 10th, the prompt was quilt, and I made this little kind of little old lady here with some actual images of quilts, did a little journaling, November 11th was Eagle Eyes. I did a little journaling on that. This was an eagle that I had done as an illustration for something, and I just copied that and printed it to size and used it in here. This was from one of my eyes handout pages towards the beginning of the year. On November 12th, the prompt was statue, and this was a piece of my art, a piece I did of the Statue of Liberty, and just used that as kind of a takeoff point there. The prompt for November 13th, Friday the 13th, was matter, and I just I have some room here to write, so I may go back and write, I'm not sure, but I just talked about looked at things that matter to me, and so I found some images that represent some of the things that are important to me. On November 14th, the word was dragon. I had a very frustrating day with the internet that day, and so that I just related that to being my dragon to slay, and ended up, as is kind of the theme for the year, with turning towards my gratitudes in the situation. Number 15, the prompt was prayer, and as you can see, the page is blank. Hopefully I'll go back and get that done before the end of the year, because thus far this is my only blank page that I've missed, so hopefully I'll go back and get that caught up before the year's end, and be able to show it to you when I do the whole full book flip through. On November 16th, the prompt was botanical. This was part of the printable that I supplied. This is an image from some collage sheets that I supplied to my patrons on Patreon. This is some leaves I cut out of some painted deli paper. These moths also were on a Patreon collage sheet. The prompt for November 17th was compose, and other than writing the word, I didn't really do it. I was thinking about relating it to the composition of the page, as the art composition. November 18th, I'm not for sure what the prompt was. I did just kind of a general collage here. That's turned out okay. It was fun to do and relaxing. So sometimes just spending a little time being creative each day is enough to fill my goal. On Thursday, November 19th, which happened to be my birthday, so I kind of wrote about all the things I did that day, and a shopping trip I had. On the 20th, the prompt word was energy, and I just found a picture that has all this welding going on and sparks, and just left it at that. Very simple. This page on the 21st, not for sure again what the prompt was, but actually I think it might have been yellow. But I had fun just collaging some magazine bits and different things I got from different places together, and painting a background, and put some magazine words there and called it good. Again, just spending some time relaxing and creating is enough of an accomplishment. Some days I don't hold myself to having to journal every day, or even follow the prompt every day. November 22nd, the prompt was royalty. This was printable. Put a Bible verse there. On November 23rd, I'm not sure I followed the prompt here. I can't remember what it was. Just kind of did a collage of some magazine images. I just always am cutting things out or saving things that I like out of junk mail or magazines or whatever, and just keep a tray of those, and then I can sort through and use those when I'm making collage. I just started my Patreon account in November, and so this was my very first set of collage sheets supplied to my patrons on there, and so there's a picture of that in here. I just kind of to record that. On November 24th, the prompt was fox, or cunning as a fox, and this is just a simple fox sticker. I kind of talked about some of my frustrations with technology again, and how wise the fox is to not deal with any of that. So, a little drawing of a computer there that wrestling with. November 25th, the prompt was ×2. It's the day before my twin granddaughter's birthday, and so I talked a little bit about them and other things that come in twos, like mittens and socks, and of course hands and feet, and these kind of made me think of my little grandchildren, so put those in there. And then, of course, Thursday, November 26th is Thanksgiving, and I made a list of 13 things to be grateful for. You know, this has been a challenging year, and it was sad. I have a little sad face sticker down here because I was sad that because of COVID, my big family couldn't get together, and of course I missed everyone. But it was good for me to write a list of my things I'm grateful for anyway, and even grateful for, not for COVID itself, but for some of the things that it has brought about. So there's always a silver lining. The prompt for November 27th was Adornments, and usually we are decorating the house for Christmas that day. We didn't this year, but I did put this was another stamp that I carved, and I've been getting ready for a stamp carving workshop, so I've been carving a bunch of Christmas stamps, which has been fun, so I put one of those in there as well. The prompt for November 28th was boots, and I've just put in some boots that I have painted, and that was just a quick, easy page. On the 29th, the prompt was gong, and I don't really consider this page done. This is another one. Maybe I'll go back and finish up later, but it's at least started. And then finally, November 30th, and it was X marks the spot. I don't know that I really made any sense of that on my page, but that's okay. I had fun playing here. I just stuck some images down that I found, added some watercolor splashes, and even carried that over to December 1st so that I'm ready for that page, ready for the new month to begin. So that is the month of November in my book, and on to a new month, and we'll be finishing up the year here soon. So thanks for taking a look.